today episode we will discuss about interrupt instruction. Interrupt is an IO process, the data transfer between microprocessor and peripheral device. When the peripheral device want to transfer any data, then it will request the processor to read or write the data from the peripheral device. Then the processor will perform the read or write operations, that is the data transfer between the peripheral and microprocessor on demand basis or request basis. So, this is the interrupt. So, during the interrupt processing, the peripheral device send the request. So, how it will send the request or how the processor will accept the request. So, it may be enabled or disabled by some set of instructions or by software. So, that is maskable interrupts. So, maskable interrupt means there are 5 interrupts available in the 8085. Among that, few interrupts can be enabled or disabled by the software instructions. That kind of interrupts are called as a maskable interrupts. So, there are 4 interrupts RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5 and INTR. These 4 interrupts are named as maskable interrupts. So, these interrupts can be enabled or disabled by the instructions. So, what are the instructions are available to enable or disable? So, there are 4 instructions which are EI, DI, SIM, D and RIM. So, 4 instructions. The EI is enable interrupt, DI is disable interrupt. These 2 instructions are used to enable or disable the or set or reset the interrupt enable flip flops. By using set and reset, we can enable or disable the interrupt. The another 2 instructions which are RIM and SIM, that is SIM and RIM, is mainly used to identify the status of the interrupts, maskable interrupts, that is RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5, whether these 3 interrupts are enabled or not enabled. Suppose if it is enabled, whether it is serviced or it is in the queue, that is in the pending interrupts, it will be identified by using the SIM and RIM instructions. So, let us discuss the interrupts one by one. EI is enable interrupt. This is a single byte instruction which is used to set the interrupt enable flip flop. Once the flip flop is set, then it automatically enables the interrupt process. Interrupt process means the processor send the acknowledgement signal and also it serve the service routine of the corresponding request. After that, the interrupt will be reset by using the system reset signal or by using the system recognition. That is, what is meaning of that system recognition means, once the interrupt request from the processor is identified, then the processor complete its current work, then disable the interrupt enable flip flop, then send the interrupt acknowledgement signal. By sending the interrupt acknowledgement signal, now the processor switch over to the interrupt service routine, that is the driver program of the requested IO device. So, in that subprogram we have to write the EI instruction again, because we have to enable the interrupt once again. So, the EI instruction should be enabled in the subprogram also. Then by reading the RET instruction, which is return instruction, it will be written back to the main program by pop the data from the stack pointer. This is the interrupt process. So, the interrupt instruction EI is used to enable the interrupt enable flip flop. Usually we are writing in the main program. After identifying the interrupt request, the processor disable it and it switch over to the interrupt service routine. In the interrupt service routine, we have to again write the EI instruction to enable the interrupt. Because the process is over, now the processor is ready to receive the next interrupt. The next instruction is DI instruction. DI is disable interrupt. This is a single byte instruction which is used to reset the interrupt enable flip flop. Once the flip flop is reset means that is the disabled. So, disabled means automatically the corresponding interrupt request also disabled. So, these 2 instructions mostly used to enable or disable the corresponding interrupts. Based on these 2 instructions, the interrupts are classified as maskable and non-maskable interrupts. Maskable means by using these 2 we can enable or disable. Non-maskable means we cannot be disable and also need not be enable the instruction. The next instruction is SIM instruction. SIM is set interrupt mask. This is a single byte instruction which is used to represent the 3 different functions. That is, among the 8 bits, few bits reserved for set the maskable interrupts, and 1 bit is reserved for set the or reset the RST 7.5 interrupt, and also this instruction is used for performing the serial communication. So, this is the format of SIM instruction. It has a 8 bit, that is why it called as a single byte. So, among the 8 byte it is denoted as D0 to D7. The first 3 bits D0, D1, D2 is reserved for the RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5 interrupts, which is used to enable or disable the interrupts. So, among the 8 bits, the first 3 interrupts RST 5.5, 6.5 and RST 7.5. So, when these bits are 1 means it is masked, that is disabled the interrupt. When it is 0 means it represents the interrupt is available or the interrupt is enabled. Suppose you want to enable the interrupt RST 5.5 means here you have to write it as 0. If it is 0 means the RST 5.5 is enabled. If it is 1, it represents the RST 5.5 is disabled. So, among that the third bit, which is D3 bit MSC, MSC is mask set enable, which is the control bit for the maskable interrupts or for these 3 interrupts. So, control bit means once the bit is enabled, then only we can enable or disable any one of the 3 interrupts. So, this interrupt should be 1. If it is 1 means we can set or reset the interrupts of RST 5.5, 6.5 and 7.5. If the D3 bit position is 0, it represents it ignore the remaining 3 bit positions, that is we couldn't do any work. So, to enable or disable the interrupts, the MSC bit position should be 1, then only we can enable or that is mask or unmask the required interrupts. The next 4 bit positions, the D4, in the D4 we are represented as R 7.5, that is reset RST 7.5. This is one of the additional control bit which is used to set or reset the interrupt of RST 7.5. Why they are giving the additional control bit for RST 7.5 means they were given with one example, that is in our department we have the principal, HOD and class in charge. So, the students want to communicate with these 3 members. So, these 3 members we know the priority of that RST 7. So, for that we are assigning the 3 interrupts RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5. So, based on their priority levels we are assigning the interrupt. So, for principal RST 7.5 is assigned, for HOD RST 6.5 and the class teacher is 5.5. So, these 3 members are connected via the extension number. So, we have only one landline with 3 extension numbers. So, based on this we can understand only one person can communicate with any one of these 3 members. So, now the student can communicate with these 3 any one of the member. Suppose a student can call and inquire the relevant data with the class in charge or HOD or principal. So, for that we are using the MSC bit. MSC bit is 1 means it represents the 3 members are available, you can communicate with any one of the member. So, the corresponding bit positions also enable, that is available by activating the 0 bit position. So, the student can communicate with any member. Suppose the principal have a meeting. So, that time he has to go out. So, we want to disable only the corresponding interrupt which is RST 7.5. So, that time the D4 which is R 7.5 will be useful to disable only the RST 7.5 interrupts. So, now the student can communicate only with the class in charge and the HOD without affecting any other works, only the principal is left from the place. That is why this RST 7.5 have the separate control bit to reset the interrupt. The next 2 bit positions which is D6 and D7 is used for the serial communication. So, for serial communication means only the communication is performed over a single line. In the single line the bits are transmitted, that is bit by bit transmission is a serial communication. 1 bit position is enough to transmit the data. So, the DE is a serial data enable which is used to enable the serial communication. This is one of the control bit for serial communication. When the bit position is 1 means it is ready to perform the serial communication. When it is 0 we couldn't do the communication. The D7th bit position is serial out data. So, based on the name you can understand serial out data means the data is transmit from peripheral device to the output device. So, it may be any one of the data. If it is 1 means it will send the data from the peripheral to the output device. Once the D6 position is 1, it will be send the data. If it is 0, it will be ignored. That is why the D6th bit position is named as a control bit for serial data transmission. So, this is a SIM instruction. SIM instruction is a single byte instruction which is used to set or reset the maskable interrupts RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5, and also it has a additional reset pin for RST 7.5. These for maskable interrupts. These 2 bit positions for serial communication, one is control bit for enabling the serial communication, another one is for transmitting the data. Based on our discussion, we will be back to do some exercise. Suppose you want to enable any one of the interrupt. So, what you have to write? We have to set or reset the corresponding bit positions of the SIM instruction, then load into accumulator, then we have to write the SIM instruction. To enable the interrupt, the D3 bit position should be 1, then the remaining bits also 0, which represents the bit positions RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5 interrupts also available. So, that time no need of to reset, it is a ignoring pointer, it may be reserved for the future expansion. Then there is no serial communication, so we are writing as 0. Now, we have to write the bit as what are the values 0, then this is called as a 8. So, 0 8. So, 0 8 we have to write in for enabling all the interrupts. So, for that we have to write the instruction as MVI A comma 08. So, it represents it enable all interrupts. Then after executing the SIM instruction, so after that we have to write the SIM instruction. So, after writing the SIM instruction, now the content of the accumulator, based on the content of the accumulator, the corresponding interrupts will be enabled or disabled. So, here we are written as enable all the interrupts. So, now 3 interrupts RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5 will be available based on request. Suppose only 6.5 will send the request means it will be performed. Suppose 7.5 and 6.5 both are sending the request means first it will recognize for 7.5, then it will perform for the 6.5 based on the priority levels. So, now small exercise, write the instruction to reset the RST 7.5. Suppose you want to reset the RST 7.5 means what you have to do? The same instruction which is available as per previous discussion 0100. Now, we have to write it as a one position for RST 7. So, that value is serial communication 0, this is a don't care condition. Here you have to write it 1 for resetting the condition, then enable all interrupts, then 3 interrupts also available. So, now write these words which is 18. So, here write as 18, H represents hexadecimal number. So, to reset with the RST 7.5 you have to write MVI A comma 18H, then write SIM instruction. Now, the content of the accumulator will be transferred to the processor, then processor according to that it will perform the operations. The another one is to write the serial data to the display. So, to write the data to the display device means what you have to write? The remaining interrupts may be ignoring points. So, you may write the 5 bits for ignoring, this also ignoring bit positions. Here you have to write it as 1 for serial communication, here also for 1. So, then you convert it as so C0H. C0H means it represents it is ignoring the interrupt, it will perform only the serial communication. Now, the available data on the processor will be sent to the output device by activating the SIM instruction. Now, suppose more than 2 interrupts send the request signal at the same time. So, the processor may get a confusion. So, for to avoid the confusion, we are arranged the priority encoder to give the priority levels of the each interrupts. So, according to the priority interrupts priority level, the interrupt will be serviced by the processor. So, now we are sending the 2 more requests, but the processor not serviced, we are waiting in the level for a long time. So, to know the status of the interrupt, whether our requested interrupt will be serviced or it is in the pending status, or whether it is in the queue. So, to know that we are using the pending interrupts, that is the requested interrupts whether it is accepted and in the queue level or it may not accept it. So, to know that we are using the RIM instruction, which is used mainly for knowing the pending interrupts. RIM is a single byte instruction which is used to read the status of the interrupt levels and also for output data, serial output data, that is the processor can send the data to the device. So, this is a single byte instruction, is mainly used for the three purpose. One is to read the interrupt masks. So, for that they have a 4 bit positions, one is a control bit position, 3 is a RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5 interrupts. Another 3 bit positions used for the knowing the status of the pending interrupts. The last one is serial out data. The last data is serial input data, which is used to receive the data from the keyboard. This is a format of RIM instruction, which is a 8 bit position. It has a number of bit positions which are denoted as D0 to D7. So, among the first 4 bit positions used for set or reset the interrupts. So, 3 maskable interrupts which are RST 7.5, 6.5 and RST 7.5 have the 3 bit positions. If the bit position is 0 means the corresponding interrupt is enabled, otherwise the interrupt is masked. Masked means disabled, 0 means available or unmasked. So, D3 bit position is interrupt enable flip flop. When the bit position is 1 means it enable the interrupt enable flip flop. Once the interrupt enable flip flop is enabled means or set the interrupt enable flip flop. Once the interrupt enable flip flop is set means it will enable all the interrupts. If it is 0 means it represents reset. If the flip flop is reset means it will ignore the 3 bit positions, we couldn't perform any interrupts. Once the interrupt request is activated, then it will perform the interrupts request based on its priority level. During that time, if you want to know the status of the interrupts, we can use the interrupt pending bit positions, which are I 5.5 represents RST 5.5, RST 6.5, RST 7.5. These 3 interrupts used for knowing the status or pending status of the 3 interrupts. The last one is SID. SID is serial input data. So, when the data is available, it automatically receives the data from the keyboard and pass to the processor via this bit position. So, this is a RIM instruction. RIM instruction mainly used for enable or disable the interrupts along with the control bit, and it will indicate the status of the pending interrupts and also for receiving the serial data. So, among our discussion of RIM instruction, we want to check it more than one interrupt is requested by the peripheral device. Now, the processor performing the one interrupt, the another interrupt request user want to know whether the interrupt is in pending status or whether it is in the not recognized. So, for that we are considering 2 interrupts RST 7.5 and 6.5. Both interrupts or send the request. Now, the RST 7.5 is in process, 6.5 is in the pending status. So, now we have to write the coding to identify whether the 6.5 is in the pending status or not accepted. So, to know that we have to first identify the corresponding bit position is set or reset. So, which is I 6.5 is 1. If it is 1 means it represents the RST 6.5 is in the pending status. The second one is we have to know, suppose it is not in the pending means, then we have to know whether it is active or not. So, the enable interrupt RST 7.5 is set by D1 bit position, that is 0 means it is enabled. If it is 1 it is disabled. So, the D1 bit position should be enabled by activating the 0 signal. Then after activating we have to enable the interrupt enable flip flop, then only any one of the interrupt request will be recognized. So, the D3 also should be 1. So, these 3 conditions must be activate to identify whether the interrupt is pending or not. So, based on this request we have written one program. This is a RIM instruction. So, to know the status of the pending interrupt. The first one is RIM instruction. RIM instruction is for read the status. So, now we have after executing this instruction, the status will be loaded into the accumulator. the accumulator, which is the A register, is temporarily stored in the B register. Now, we want to know whether the 6.5 is pending or not. So, if you want to know the pending of interrupt, here this bit position should be 1 to identify the status. So, that bit position is 1, remaining as 0 0. So, what is the value of this? Now, read in the 4 bit positions 20H. So, if you want to know the bending status of 6.5, we have to write the value of 20. So, here we have written the value as 20. With the ANI operation means it is a logically AND operation. So, we are performing the logically. First I will explain how the program will work. So, we are reading the SIM instruction loaded into the temporary register, then we are checking whether the 6.5 was bending or not by activating the ANI 20 instruction. If it is yes means, then this value will be non-zero. If it is no, it is not in the bending status means, again we are activating the interrupt, then return back to the main program without suffering any other interrupts. If it is in bending status means, then automatically we get the non-zero value, then we go to the subprogram where we are activating the interrupts. So, to activating the interrupt, we have to use the ANI signal, that is write the 0 for RST 6.5, then logically OR with that content value, then we are writing the SIM instruction. Now, by writing this instruction, RST 6.5 will be activated, the corresponding interrupt service will be executed. So, how we are writing the 20, how we are writing 0D, 08H, along with that whether how we will check jump on no 0 will be discussed. So, we have written the value 20 by activating the RST 6.5 bending or not. Suppose after reading the SIM instruction, suppose I have the value as 0 0. This value is temporarily stored in the B register. Now, I am logically AND with the status to know the status of 6.5, the value is T0. So, logically AND, the AND operation is if any one of the signal is low, the output is low. If both signals are high, then we will get the signal as high. So, here I will get all signals are 0. So, 0 here 0, 1 0 in the AND gate also 0. So, finally, I get all the values as 0. If it is 0 means what I have to do, it will activate the EI instruction, then it will be returned back to the main program. This is a one condition. The another condition, suppose I received the value as 0 0 1 0 0 0, it represents, if it is 1 means the interrupt is in bending. So, I am logically AND with the value 20. So, now I will get the value as 0 0, here both values are high. So, the value is 0. So, finally, I get value as 20. So, 20 is equal to non-zero. So, non-zero, so we are switch over to the specified location. If it is non-zero means it switch over here, if it is 0 means continue the program. So, in non-zero, so now we have to activate the program for the enabling of RST 6.5. So, the temporary value which is in the B, which is 20 will be loaded to accumulator. Now, the value is 0 0 1 0 0. Now, logically AND with the 0 DH, that is 0 0. DH means 1 1 0 1. How we are getting the 1 1 0 H means? So, to activate the enabling signal for RST 6.5, we have to write 0 on here. The remaining signals are high level because they are not enabled. Then this IE signal should be enabled, then only the corresponding interrupt will be recognized. So, during that time the remaining signals will be 0. So, by this we are getting the value 0 DH. So, here as per our discussion, now the value is not 0. So, the value is 0 0 1 0 0 0, which is we have received after executing the RIM instruction. After executing the RIM instruction, now we have the value 0 0 1 0 0, which is not 0. So, we are switch over here. So, now the value is moved to the accumulator, the value 0 0 1 1 0 1, that is 0 D is logically AND. So, logically AND means automatically all values become 0 because no one have the same value as high level. Now, 0, now The another value 08 is we are activating only the IE bit position as 1, remaining as 0. So, automatically we get the 3 interrupts are enabled with activating the master control signal, then during that remaining signals are 0. Now, we get the value 0 0 0 1 0 0, because logically OR means if any one of the signal is 1, we get the value as 1, otherwise the value is 0. So, here 0 on we get 1. So, 0 8 we get. After running the SIM instruction, now the content of the accumulator, which is 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 will be loaded to the processor. The processor now perform its interrupts, it will read the RST 6.5, the corresponding ISR program which is in this location will be executed. This is the way to identify the interrupt, whether the interrupt is accessed or whether it is in the bending status. So, we have discussed what is interrupt, how the interrupt process is processed by the processor. This diagram will shows how to read the data from the keyboard and how we are processing internally with the processor, and again how we are sending the data to the output device, that is the processor communicate with the peripheral device. This is a peripheral device, it have a 256 numbers. Among the 256 numbers, now I have selected the port number as 48. So, some number of switches, consider the peripheral devices switches. So, the switches which are 0 0 1 0 1 0 1, these kind of switches are on and off. So, 0 means off, 1 means on. So, this value which is 0 5, that is 15 H will be loaded to the 48 H. After switches on the keyboard or in the switching devices, now the peripheral send the request to the processor. The processor complete its current work, now it run the ISR program which is to read the data from the 48. The 48 is port number or port address. The 48 which is the content 15 is moved to the buffer 15, the corresponding value 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 will be moved. Now, the processor receive the data. So, this will be executed by using the IN instruction. In 48 H means now the content of the 48 which is 15 is loaded to the accumulator. Now, we are loading the another value 23. Now, add B means the B register value is added to the accumulator. Accumulator value is 15. Now, with the added with the 23 is 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 1. Now, addition is 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 1, then 1 1 0 0. So, finally, we get the value was 3 8, that is 23 by plus 15 is 38. So, 38, now we want to display the 38 on the LED. So, again I want to enable the another port which is 40. So, now the content of 38 will be transferred to the output device. Now, the corresponding LED will be on and off. This is a way of interrupt process for the peripheral device. In today's session, we have discussed what are the interrupts available in 8085 to activate the interrupt requests. So, 4 interrupts EI, DI, SIM and RIM. These 4 interrupts, by using these 4 interrupts, the interrupts are classified as the maskable interrupts. So, maskable interrupts can be enabled by these 4 interrupts. The EI and DI instructions are used to enable or disable the interrupt flip-flop to activate the interrupts. The remaining 2 instructions, which are SIM and RIM instructions, to identify the status of the maskable interrupts and also for serial communication. Question section. So, explain the types of interrupt instruction. Draw the format of RIM instruction and explain its need. Write the important function of SIM instruction. What is mean by pending interrupts? Thank you.